Hello, welcome back. This is number 21 in my Fog of War series. This is my second attempt at this one. Thank you very much to the person that pointed out I made a silly error in my last one right near the end, and it changed the way the puzzle resolved, so I thought I'd better do a new one for any new people watching. So I won't bother going through the rules of all these. There's a lot of rules in this one because there's lots of mini puzzles. But if you need clarification on the rules, if you watch any of the previous videos in the series, we've done all of these rules many times before, so that could clarify those for you. The only other thing on this one, this is a new one that I've made where the fog opens up differently. So normally you would click on that one, and when you get that one right, the ones surrounding that one would open up. But in this one, you do the mini puzzle and then a new piece of fog opens up. So don't be surprised if the fog doesn't open up when you expect it to. So that's probably all you need to know for this, and now I'll go through the solution. So this one here and this one here only have this cell in common, so they both have a 2 in common, so that's got to be a 2. That has to be a 6, 8, 1 and a 9, 7, 3. Now that can't be a 1 because you'd have to have a 2 there. You can't have a 3 there because the 3 has to go up there. So there has to be a 4, 8 pair. And then that's not an 8. And then that has to be a 5. And then once we get that little mini puzzle mostly done, it unlocks a new one for us. So this one now, we've got a Renban line. So they have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in a row. So to be 6 things in a row, you'd have to have 1 to 6 with 7, 8, 9 left over. Now obviously you've got to have a big high and a low one here, or a big and a small one to go opposite a 10. So it would have to be a 9, 1 or an 8, 2. If it was an 8, 2, it can't be an 8, 2 actually, because then the 1 and the 9 are both left out, aren't they? And we can't have them both left out off the line because that has to be consecutive. So that can only be a 9, 1. And then that one could be a 2 or an 8. And that leaves, that can't be a 1 there now, so that can only be a 2, 3 there. It can't be a 1, 4. So that one has to be an 8. 8 from 16 leaves 8, so that's either 2, 6 or 3, 5. So that's a 6 or a 5. That one's 2, 4 or 3, 6. That can't be a 6 next to either of those, can it? That's got to be a 5, which means that one has to be a 3. That's a 2. That's a 4. And then we've got a 6, 7 pair left there. Now this one can be a 1, 9 pair. It can be, actually that can't be a 9 because you can't have an 8 there, so it can't be a 9, 1 that way. We can't have 8, 2 because of those. 7, 3 can go that way. 7, now 7 would have to go with a 6 or an 8. We can't have an 8. Can't have a 6 there because they'd have to both be 1s, so we can't actually have a 7, 3 there. And that only leaves 4, 6. Can't have a 4 there. Can we have a 4 there? Don't see any reason why not. No, that could be a 1, 9 that way around. Is there any reason that can't be a 1? That can't be a 1, yes, because we can't have a 2 there because it's got to be consecutive, so that actually can't be a 1, 9 there either. So that only leaves a 6, 4. That one now has to be a 9 on the German whisper line. There has to be a 1 next to the 6. That has to be either a 3 or a 5. I'll put these ones in first. 9. Gives us all those ones. So that has to be a 3 or a 5 next to the 4. You can't have a 5 on the German whisper. And that one now has to be an 8. That leaves 2, 5, 7. There's a 5, 7 there, so that one's got to be a 2, 2, 5 there, that's a 7, and therefore that one is a 5. And we get rid of a 3 up there. And now these maximum or minimums, if they point inwards, that means they're minimum. If they point outwards, that means it's a maximum. So this one here has to be a minimum, so it's got to be smaller than that one. So that one can't be possibly be a 1, so that resolves that one. Now this here, we can't have 6, 4 or 8, 2. We can't have 9, 1 because those two have to be maximums, so you can't have a 9 in here. So that only leaves 7, 3. So that's got to be a 7 and that's got to be a 3. That's an 8 or a 9, can only be a 9 because of the 8 down there. Okay, what's left here? We can't have 9, 1, can't have 7, 3. We have 6, 4 or 8, 2, but the 8, 2 can only go that way. 8, 2 or they can both be a 6, 4 pair. Get rid of the 9 there. Now that one also has to be a maximum, so it'll be bigger than 3. It's not 4. Could be 5 or 8. Oops, that's a funny 8. 5 or 8. And that one's got to be less than 6, so it's got to be, can't be 1, it's got to be 2, 3, 4 or 5. Now what does that leave for a consecutive pair? Okay, if that was 8, 2, 8, 2, we've left out 3, 7. The only consecutive pair could be 4, 5, 6 there. We can't have 4, 5 or 5, 6 because of the 5, so that can't be right. So that can't be an 8, 2. Oops, right. Can't be 8, 2. So now we've got 4, 6, so the 5's not consecutive. That's got to be, we've got 9, 3, 7. Can't be a 5. The only consecutive pair that can go there is 1, 2. So that has to be a 1. That has to be a 2. That's a 5. That's an 8. And we've got a new puzzle. That one has to be bigger than that one. Has to be a 6. And that one has to be a 4. Okay, so put the numbers in here that we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. In here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this one, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, and an 8. Missing in that one. So consecutive numbers, that can't be a 6. That can't be an 8. Could be 2, 1, or 3, 4. This one up here. That has to be a sequence line, so that can't be a 1. And you can't have 2, 4, 6, 2, 6 something, so no, that can't be a 2. 3, 4, 5 is possible. 3, 6, 9 is possible. 8, 6 would have to be 4. 8, 4 would have to be 0, so that can't be an 8, that's a 3. And that's either 3, 4, 5 or 3, 6, 9, so not a 7. It's not a 3, so that one's a 2, and that has to be a 1 to be consecutive, so that's an 8. Not a 7 and not a 1. And, oops, and that's 7 up there, was meant to be not a 7. Not a 7, not a 7. Not a 3, and that's a 2 and a 1. 8, not a 1. Keep clicking on the wrong things. So that's either 2, 4, 5 or 3, 3, 4, 5 or 3, 6, 9. So this cage 3 from 14 is 11, so that's either 5, 6 or 4, 7. That's not a 9. Okay, so if it was 3, 4, 5, we'd be left with 7, 6, which is 13. That doesn't work, so it's got to be 3, 6, 9, and that leaves the 7, 4 to make 11. And that one's a 5. Yeah, right. Now put these ones in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down there. Now that one can't be a 5 on a German whisper line. Can't be a 6, you'd have to have a 1 either side of it, so that one's got to be a 1. That one therefore is a 7, that then becomes a 2. That could be an 8 or a 9, and that one has to be the 3. And we get another piece of the puzzle revealed. That's a 4, not a 1. Just finish off this box first. That's all we can do with that one. Alright, I'll just put in all the numbers that we can have here. I think will be the easiest way to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'll just delete the ones that we can't have. So that one can't have a 9, 6, 8, a 7, 4, 3, or a 5, 1, 2 in that one, and get rid of the other couple of red things. One, 3, 7, and that can't be a 4. Now that one has to be bigger than that, so that can't be a 1. That has to be bigger than that, so that can't be an 8, 9. That has to be bigger than that, so that can't be a 1. That has to be bigger than that, so that can't be 9, 8, 6 or 5. That has to be a 2. Can't be a 2. Now this is where I made the blunder last time. I got rid of a 7 because I couldn't add up. I said that had to be a 752, but 753 is correct. So can't get rid of any of those just yet. So I'll have to put some numbers in these fog ones here, I think, to see what's what. So these ones can be 3, 4 or 8. That's an 8. Not an 8, not an 8. That can be 1, can't be 2, 3, 4, can be 5, can't be 6, 7 or 9. And these ones can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Now that spot up there was the only spot for the 2, so it's got to be a 2. And then get rid of the 3, 7. And all that did was eliminate one thing over here, so that wasn't a great response. Oh, actually there's a 3, 4 pair, that's not a 3. So there's 6, 7, 9 triple. We can't have a 7 or a 9 there. So it gives us a 1, 5 pair. At this point that 1 is still in play, isn't it? Because we've got a 1, 4, 7 possible. Checkmating up this time. 1 and 3 is 4 and 3 is 7, yeah. Okay, so I'll have to put these ones in as well. 1, 2, 9 goes there. 9, that's a 1 and that's a 2. Now that gets rid of that 1, and that leaves, that's the only spot for a 1 there now, so that's a 1, 5. It gets rid of the 5 there, and the 9 there. And that's the only spot for a 1. We've got a 6, 9 pair there anyway. Now what else can we eliminate? Oh, I could have eliminated a couple of things here too, because those two have to add up to those two. That's a 3. There's nothing there that adds up to 5, so that can't be a 3. There's also nothing there that adds up to 8, so that can't be, except for 4, 4, which you can't have, so that can't be a 6. And that can't be a 9 because it makes too many 9. The minimum you can have with the 9 is 9 and 4 is 13, and you can't have a 2 and something to make 13. And the same with the 8, that would be 12, so you can't have that 8. 8 and 3 is 11, you could have that with the 2, 9. So that's all I can eliminate from those ones at this point, I think. I have to put the rest of these ones in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goes in there. 3, 7, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in there. 9, 3, 7, 9, and 9. That's given us a 4-5 pair, so that's not a 4. And a 6-8 pair, we can't do anything with that. I think that now can't be a 7 because that makes 13 and 15, so it's too many. 6 and 6 is 12, 6 and 8 is 14, so that can't be a 6 either. Now what? Now, as someone pointed out to me in the last one as well, that this one has to be a 3 in that sequence line there. So the only way, because you can only have 3, 4, 5 or 3, 5, 7 or 4, 5. No, you can't have 4, 5. Actually, that can't be a 4. You can't have 4, 4, and you can't have 4, 5, 6, so that can't be a 4. But you can have 5, 4, 3, and you can have 7, 5, 3, and back the other way as well. But each one of those, doesn't matter which way you go, 5, 4, 3, 7, 5, 3, 3, 4, 5, it always has a 3 in that sequence. So that can't be a 3 there. So that has to be a 4, and that pretty much lets the rest of the puzzle come out when you do that. That's a 4. It's not a 5. Whoops. Not a 5, and not a 5, and not a 4. Now these two, the 4 and 8 would be 12, so it has to be a 6, and then that has to be an 8. So it's a 9, 6. Oops, that was meant to be not a 6. Now that one's an 8, and that 4 up there has revealed this thermometer a bit more, so now that's got to be a 3. And there's an 8 there and a 9 there. 7, 9, 3, 9, 7, and that now has to be a 7 and a 3. It's a 5, and that one's a 6, so that one's the 7, and that's a 5, and that's a 6. So there we go, did that one without any silly mistakes, I think. Thanks very much to those people that pointed out my silly mistake here. I couldn't add up along this sequence line there, which is very silly of me. But anyway, I do make mistakes. I'm sorry about that. But this one should be okay, and I hope you enjoyed the puzzle for those of you that are new to the channel. And I will see you on the next one.